Alright friends, let's chill and do my current go-to makeup look. The first thing that I have been doing lately is my brows, and I am using a pretty heavy-duty brow gel. It's the Got2b hair glue. It's literally called a hair glue, and what I've done is I've put it into this little mascara wand dispenser that I bought off of Amazon so that I could brush it through and fluff up the brows. So I brush it through, and then you'll see I'll take my finger to literally paste them onto my forehead. And since this is pretty heavy duty, I do this first, so if I have any excess product that gets on the skin, I can clean that up easily and then go in with my foundation. I am priming the skin with the NYX Plump Right Back Serum Primer. It's new to me, but I have really been into like hydrating and gripping primers, and this one definitely gets some gripping benefits to it. It's really nice, plumps up the skin, and preps for the rest of my makeup. And then as an extra step for some glow, I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter just to get a little extra glow underneath the complexion. I like to buff in my Hollywood Flawless Filter with a brush, but you can definitely use your fingers or a sponge. I'm sorry friends, I have to do it. I have to use the Tom Ford foundation. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I tried this out recently and I was honestly blown away, and I'm really upset at the fact that I really love an $89 foundation. But here we are, and every time I put it on, I look like I'm wearing a literal Instagram filter on my face. It is a really lightweight consistency that gives a really skin-like finish. I wouldn't describe this as something that's overly matte. I wouldn't describe it as something as really dewy either. It looks so healthy and, like I said, an Instagram filter. And I like to buff mine in with my makeup brush as well. And it just looks so flawless. See, every time I wear it, I'm like, hello, this is beautiful. I'm going in with my LA Girl Pro Conceal Corrector in the shade Peach to color correct on my under eye area, which I have a lot of darkness on, and I really just need to color correct. It just makes a huge difference in the way my makeup looks. So I apply it, I let it sort of sit down and dry down a minute before I start spreading it out, and I don't blend it out with my sponge or my brush or anything. I just tap it in with my finger so I don't lose any coverage or color correction, and then I'll begin to put my concealer over top of that. Now I am taking my Shape Tape Ultra Creamy Concealer, not the original, you'll want the Ultra Creamy one, it's so much better. And I just apply that on the under eye area, and I also use it on the lids to cancel out any discoloration and darkness, and also as an eyeshadow primer. I spread that out with my fingers so that I can get coverage where I want it. And I also let this sit down for a second before I go in to blend it out because I don't want to lose any coverage. I really want to use less product but get lots of coverage from it. I also add a little concealer on the chin and above the lip and around the nose, and some a little bit on the nose for some extra coverage. I'm going to take my sponge and blend in those spots on my lower face, and then I'm going to still avoid the under eye area but tap out the edges of the under eye concealer, and then I'm going to let that dry down because I really don't want to lose coverage. I really just want that concealer to dry down before I go in and blend even more. After letting the concealer sit for a minute, I am going in with that brush and I am tapping it in. I am using a stippling motion, and then I will also go in with my sponge to blend it in as well, but I'm pressing very gently and lightly. I'm not swiping any coverage away. I'm just pouncing it in an inward stippling motion. I'm using my e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder to set the under eye area, but before I do, I check to make sure all of those lines and creases on the under eye area are blended out, and then I will take the powder and then get it on the under eye area. I'm actually using a sponge this time, but I normally use a makeup puff to press the powder in on my under eye area. I rarely use a sponge anymore. I prefer a makeup puff, but I didn't bring it with me, so we're using a sponge today, and I think it still turned out really nice. I have really been into cream bronzers lately, and I just picked up this one from Rare Beauty. This is the Warm Wishes one, and it's in the shade Happy Soul. It's so pretty, and it's so easy to work with. You just draw it on like a crayon or a marker, and then you just blend it in with your brush or your sponge, and it just effortlessly blends in. It looks kind of splotchy as I'm watching on camera, but I promise you that it'll all like blend out beautifully and seamlessly, and it's just so easy to work with, so great for beginners. I like to place my cream bronzer on the perimeter of my face, like my cheekbones, above the hairline, and I also contour my nose and my jawline as well, and it's a lovely product. Next up is my blush, and I am using a liquid blush from Glam. They actually can be bought on the Shein website, which I had no clue. They're so beautiful. They went viral on TikTok, and I am using the shade Love Cake. You just stamp it on and blend it out with a brush, and it looks so pretty. Cannot get over them. They're gorgeous. The end, and they're only $6. The NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk is having a moment, and I honestly have really loved doing nose highlight and inner corner highlight with it lately. It's really nice. This was in my makeup collection over 10 years ago, and it went viral again, so I picked it up to try it out again, and it is still really nice. So if you were wanting to try it, definitely grab it. It's great to do a little highlighting with. Now I'm dipping back into the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder with a fluffier brush, and I'm just doing a light dusting of powder all over the face to set it. I just want to set down my cream products, and this powder is not very matte or flat looking. I just like how it has kind of a healthy glow to it, but it's not too dewy looking. But this is just going to set everything down. To set everything down and meld everything together even more, I'm using my e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. It gives a nice, really dewy finish, so all the powders and creams look really healthy together. Once that setting spray has dried down, I'm going to go back to the brows. You'll see here that's the first brow that I'm done, but I'm going to do the second one on camera. And basically what I do is I am underlining the brow to give it a little bit of shape, and then I'll overline it just a little bit to kind of draw that in. But then I just really am particular and very precise about not doing too much filling or too much like sharpness to the brows. I know I do have bold brows, but I want them to still look fluffy because the fluffy look is in. So you'll see that I just give it a little shape by overlining and underlining, and then I'll take the other side of that Urban Decay brow blade, which has a pin on it, and then I'll fill it in with some hair-like strokes. I have really been into this eyeshadow palette lately. It's the Bare Necessities palette from ColourPop, and I like that it's like neutral, but you have a mix of warm and cool tones. You have some kind of rosy tones in there as well. So I'm using that first shade as a transition shade. It's kind of a warmer, peachier tone, and I'm going to lay that down first. As you can see here, I am using windshield wiper motions and circular motions to blend that in, and I also put some on the lower lash line for some definition as well. Now I'm taking that cool toned medium brown, and I am putting that in the outer portion of the lid, outer corner, and then I start sort of buffing it inward. I want to create a gradient effect with my eyeshadow, so I start with the lightest shade and I kind of move up in tone so it looks very blended and very seamless. I do this in light layers over and over again until I get the desired pigment that I want for the look that I'm going for. I'm taking that rosy tone mauvey plum color, and that is going on the outer corner onto the crease as well, and that is a little pigmented, so I'll make sure to place that down, and then you'll see me switch here to a fluffier brush to sort of diffuse that out and to make sure that is nicely blended. So that is another thing that I do, is if I feel like it's a little too dark, I'll just go in with another fluffier brush to diffuse all the edges. Same thing goes with the lower lash line. I'll also take a pencil brush to buff that in as well, because you cannot forget that lower lash line. It really pulls everything all together. I'm dipping my finger into this metallic taupey shade, and that is going onto the lid. Your finger is honestly the best tool when it comes to metallic and foiled shades for the lid. I feel like they just apply better than a brush. You can really get it pigmented and foiled and shiny on the lid. I wanted a little extra drama, so I'm dipping into that really deeper, warm toned brown, and that's going to go right into the outer corner to really deepen that up and give it a little bit more smoky drama. And now I'm going to use my Purple Lash Princess and a half lash off camera to give my lashes some oomph. I love a half lash. As you can see here, it just gives nice drama without being too much. Lately, I've been doing highlighter and lips at the end, so I'm using my Essence Pure Nude highlighter. This thing is so beautiful. It's just like a really nice natural glow that's going on the cheekbones and on the nose for some extra glowiness. And finally, the lip look. I'm doing something a little different than my normal nude lip combo, but this one is something I've been wearing a ton lately. I start out with my Maybelline Totally Toffee liner. It is really pretty, such a great neutral that's going to work with so many different lip colors. It's a kind of a darker neutral, as you're going to see here. It's really great for doing that nice lip contour. I just make sure to take my time here. I do a little bit of overlining and I straighten out the cupid's bow just a little bit, and then I fill in the inner portion of the lips just a little bit before I go in with my lipstick. I've been wearing this lipstick non-stop. It is the Wet n Wild Cloud Pout, and this is in the shade Marshmallow Madness. It's like a really unique neutral, just like not your typical nude lipstick, but still looks neutral. It's got like this beautiful corally, peachy, almost like rusty, but maybe a little pinky to it. I mean, isn't that beautiful? And as a final step, I'm using my Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray to lock that all in. And there's the final makeup look. It's a really pretty soft, feminine glam look. That's, you know, my signature look. I don't do much else, but this is what I've been loving lately, the products that I've been using and obsessing over lately. And that's the look I've been wanting to do a lot lately. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found this fun and informative. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button, and I will see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.